The bright lights of Seoul sparkled against the night sky, but inside the trainee dormitory of vivid entertainment, Jihoon's world felt dim. He sat on the edge of his bunk, scrolling through old messages on his phone, sighing as he landed on the last message from his high school best friend Hana. Good luck out there, Jihoon. You're going to be amazing. Don't forget about me when you're famous, okay? He hadn't spoken to her in months. Ever since he moved to Seoul 2 years ago to pursue his dream of becoming a K-pop idol, life had been a whirlwind of intense training sessions and late nights at the studio. Hana had always supported his dream. They'd grown up together in Busan, and she was the only one who truly knew how much this meant to him. But somewhere along the way, he had lost touch, buried under the pressure of the K-pop industry. Jihoon couldn't help but wonder what Hana was doing now. She had always been his anchor, the one person who could make him laugh when the world felt too heavy. He missed her soft smiles, the way her eyes would light up when she teased him, and the comfort she brought just by being near. But he had chosen this life, and now there was no turning back. In just a few months, the company would be announcing the final lineup for their newest boy group, AURA, and Jihoon was one of the top candidates. Yet, despite his growing success, there was an emptiness in his heart, a longing that fame couldn't fill. One evening, after an exhausting day of practice, Jihoon found himself sitting alone in the practice room, staring out the window at the city lights. His phone buzzed. It was an old message thread with Hana, and in a moment of impulse, he typed a message. "Hey, it's been a while. How are you?" He stared at the screen, his heart pounding. Seconds felt like hours, but then the dots appeared, and his phone buzzed again. "Jihoon, wow, I didn't think you'd still remember me. Haha, I'm doing well. How about you, superstar?" Jihoon smiled at her teasing. He could almost hear her voice in his head. The conversation flowed easily after that, and it felt like no time had passed at all. They talked about everything: her studies, his training, their shared memories of Busan. And as they talked late into the night, Jihoon realized just how much he had missed her. From then on, they started texting more regularly. Whenever Jihoon had a break between practice sessions, he would send her updates, and she would send him photos of her daily life, like the coffee shop she'd found that reminded her of their favorite spot back home. Slowly, Jihoon's days felt a little brighter, even though the stress of training was always looming over him. One night, as Jihoon was about to go to sleep, Hana sent him a message that made his heart skip a beat. "I'm coming to Seoul next weekend. Let's meet up if you're free." Jihoon stared at the message, a rush of excitement flooding him. They hadn't seen each other in 2 years, and the thought of seeing her again made his heart race. But as much as he wanted to meet her, he hesitated. The trainee life was demanding, and there was no guarantee he'd have time. Plus, the company was strict about trainees meeting up with friends, especially girls, to avoid any rumors. After a long moment, Jihoon replied, "I'll try my best." "I really want to see you." The week dragged on, filled with exhausting rehearsals and evaluations, but Jihoon couldn't stop thinking about Hana's visit. Finally, the weekend arrived, and with it, a rare day off. Jihoon texted her immediately. "I'm free. Where should we meet?" They decided to meet at a quiet cafe in a tucked-away corner of Seoul, far from the bustling streets and away from prying eyes. Jihoon arrived early, nerves bubbling inside him. He hadn't seen Hana in person for so long. What if things had changed between them? When Hana finally walked through the door, Jihoon felt his breath catch. She looked just as he remembered, her long hair falling in gentle waves, her warm smile lighting up her face. As soon as their eyes met, everything else faded away. "Jihoon!" she called out, waving as she approached. "Hana," he said, standing up to greet her. His heart raced, but the moment she sat down across from him, the tension melted away. They fell into easy conversation, just like old times. "I can't believe how much you've changed," Hana teased. "You're all grown up now, a real celebrity in the making." Jihoon laughed, rubbing the back of his neck. "Not quite yet, still just a trainee." "Well, I'm rooting for you," she said, her eyes sincere. I always have been. As they talked, Jihoon felt a warmth settle in his chest.